Alright, so we got some excitement here now. Snuck in, I'm going nice and slow. It's still very dark, there's no moons. They cannot see me. I'm cruising at about 3.5 knots. I'm on the surface, but we got a lot of waves, so it's almost impossible for them to see me. That's indicated by this gray sphere here, that or circle, that is an estimate by the crew about how far they should be able to visually see my profile. And I've got they're looking at what's called a bow aspect. So they're looking at the front of my ship, the front of my sub, which has a very small, narrow profile against the waves. That's good. So it's conceivable that at least in the early part of the war here, a U-boat could have snuck in on the surface, or at least snorkeling, and as long as he was quiet, he could have snuck right up to these big ships. Now this ship here is a destroyer. It looks like he's guarding these two ships here that are look like they're anchored. They're anchored out here because they're too large, probably for the port. And that's what we did in the Navy. We would often come to ports that were too small to accommodate us, so we'd have to anchor out, and then we'd go on Liberty boats to the port. And find the nearest bar or the nearest strip club. Look at this. This is what I wanted to show you. This is an American warship. It's large. I don't know what it is yet. Its profile is obscured by the background mountains, but you can clearly see the American flag. I think that might be one of those light carriers that they had back then that were built actually prior to World War II. I don't know what she is yet, but I'm getting pretty close. It's funny, I'm on the surface, there's a destroyer that's right here. Here's the destroyer right there. Moving real slow.
We are in shallow waters, Captain.
Yeah. About 2.3 kilometers from me. Now, time's ticking away. It's 4 a.m. here, so when the sun starts popping up, I'm gonna have to be underwater. So I'm on the surface to charge my batteries. They're not charging very quickly, though. I'm only at 44%. I started charging them about 30 minutes ago. 30 minutes game time, and I've only gone up a few percent. Hopefully, I'm at least at 50 by the time dawn. But by the time the sun rises, that's why I can be underwater my entire time out, because I'm going to be in visual range. As soon as the sun just barely starts to rise above the horizons, as soon as twilight hits, which is in about an hour, they're going to be able to spot me. But hopefully I will have sunk these two ships. Alright, so I got an update here for you. This is actually a British ship, and it is the Queen Elizabeth. How do I know that? Because I had my guys identify it.
Target marked.
It's a Queen Elizabeth battleship. Nice. And I am moving in for the kill here. There are other ships behind her too. I'd like to know what they are. The destroyer is going around in circles. He's circling them. He's probably going to, hopefully he's going to just come around this way. There's going to be plenty of opportunity to sink them. So I think what I'm going to do is maybe change course here a little bit so I can get more of a 90 degrees on this on the Queen Elizabeth. Here's how you do that. Let's go a little bit in front. I'm going to be shooting the center of the ship. Just come out until it says about 90 degrees. Hard to see that now. $800 yards? Yeah. Or 800 meters rather. That's good. I mean, I could afford to be a little closer. $600 is ideal, but I don't want to push it. Let's just kind of compromise here and say 700. When I get below now, let's go, boys. I'm stopping now because I'm going to drift a little bit, so. There she is. Wow.
Current depth 10 meters. Engage electric motors.
Well,
Torpedo depth set to speed.
so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, I'm not going to use my magnetic pistol. There's a chance that might not work for one thing. And but if I use impact and they hit solid, I actually get a larger hole theoretically, and I want to sink them. Plus, I want to shoot them all at one time, so that I have a chance of getting these merchant ships out here. There's actually another one over here somewhere. And if I'm too deep, you notice down here, you know, the bottom of the keel of this battleship is almost at 9 meters. So I'll just go right underneath the merchant ship. So don't want that to happen. So here we go.
Switching to saddle shooting. Switching to saddle shooting. Flooding to 3.
Shoot 4 of them.
Flooding to 4.
All right, here we go.
Los. Los.
Closing to.
Los.
Closing to.
Los.
There they go. All right, let's get the hell out of there.
Returning to speed ahead.
Actually, I'm going to make it well, I was thinking about escaping out this way. So there are too many destroyers out there. Let's try that.
Torpedo impact. Torpedo impact.
There she goes.
Torpedo impact. Torpedo impact.
Boom. Oh. Whoa. She is burning up. Hopefully she sinks. I put 4 torps in her ass. Looks like she's rolling. Yeah. I don't know if you can tell that. Oh.
2, 1, ready.
Let's get out of here.
Waiting your orders, Captain.
Minimum speed ahead.
Alright.
Extreme speed ahead. Depth under keel is 50 meters, Captain.
Not much room.
New depth to 0 meters.
Making sure my periscopes are down. Going down as far as I can. I know what there are destroyers out here from when I came in, and they're going to be looking for me coming out. So I'm
We are in shallow waters,
going this way.
Captain.
Extreme speed ahead.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Problem.
Minimum speed ahead.
Fuck. We're fucked. From this depth, we are fucked. We're totally fucked.
Waters, Captain.
Well, Gunther and his crew are done. There's no way we're getting out of this one. I mean, I'll try. The best thing I can hope for is just to actually go max speed, try to get down that channel. But I'm not gonna make it. I'll add some zigzags.
We are in shallow waters, Captain.
Minimum speed ahead.
Huh, maybe I did escape him. Well, there he is. Hey, asshole.
Extreme speed
While we
ahead.
have the advantage here, let's go. I can't believe it if I actually make this shit. 9 meters below me. I've got a little clearance. I'm at 15 meters depth. Sun's coming up, so I need to get behind these hills, these islands, and trees and stuff, so they can't see me. That's why the other reason why I came out this way is because if I did, I'd be out here by now. The sun's coming up; they can see me from every
Depth
direction.
under keel is 9 meters, Captain. We are in shallow waters, Captain.
Yeah, I know we are. I don't care. Let's go. Take another peek outside here, see if he's following me. Oh, he's not following me. Let's listen. Turn
All
on the
stop.
engines. So he's not going to be in front of me, obviously. It's going to be behind me. I don't hear him. I remember before I even came in here, I was out here. I detected a contact that might be over here.
Depth under keel is 4 meters, Captain.
Let's come back up to
Periscope depth.
periscope depth. Let's get out of here. CO2 warning.
Slow speed ahead.
Let's. Battery's almost dead.
All stop.
Listening in. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, the coast is clear. Let's get up.
Surface the boat.
Woo-wee. That was close. I thought for sure we were goners. What'd he say? Oh shit. Don't tell me he fucking followed me out here. He said long range. He said what, 171? Is that what he said? Alright, well that's behind me. Yeah, he probably followed me or something. He said long range, so... Ah, it's that guy. Holy shit. So that was a target there that I was listening to, but he wasn't moving. Look at that. See this here? That was the best guess of where the target was when I was all the way out here. And I didn't have the sonar guy, pointing to where he thought he was. I just had to guess the max distance I could hear a target was about 23 kilometers, which is a number I've been using. And that was really accurate. And he's just sitting there. How far is he? I might be able to hit him with a torpedo. They're still asleep. Ah, fuck it. Let's just get out of here. I'm not going to press my luck.
Speed ahead. We are in shallow waters, Captain.
I know we're in shallow water. Be quiet. Damn. Let's get the fuck out. Alright, we are hauling ass. I've got time compression here. Right, I'm going to radio now. They want to know my status. Contact report. Sunk the Queen Elizabeth battleship, 31,000 tons. Holy shit. Holy shit. That's a bigger ship than Gunther sunk. Wow. That was cool. All right. Well, I'm going to take a little break here, and I hope you guys enjoyed all that. That was fun. And I'm going to continue along the British coastline here. Hug the coastline just like Gunther did. And he's going to go right like that. And then here, around here, he is where he kind of cuts in It's interesting that the radio report's telling me there's a convoy, or should be a convoy there at that time. But he cuts in like this, right? And then he goes straight to Wilhelmshaven, right here. So I'm gonna straighten this out. Let's see. He does kind of like one of these, is actually what he does. There he is. Gunther Prien. See that pattern there? That's what I did. That's what he did. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm up here right now. So, alright. Alright, so I will get back with you if I find anything, any more contacts on the way, but I'm headed in. That was a very good patrol. We're not done yet. Still not quite safe. I mean, I'm cruising at 12 knots on the surface. And getting the hell away from there. But we're headed home. Alright, I'll check back in with you guys later. Alright, so we're back. Well, I was headed home, but then I just on a routine check of contacts out there, I managed to find one that sounds like a merchant that is in front of me. I don't know if you can hear him. That's definitely a merchant. Nice slow bass, kind of a medium low pitch. Yeah. That's 016 degrees. And I would say that he is at near max range. So I rate my, what I call my range rating, or R squared. I rate that on a 0 to 5 scale. So I'd say he's at about a 4, which is, and I'm using 25 nautical miles as my max range for hearing a contact. So that puts it at about 20 kilometers or so at 016. So here is 20, it's 10, it's 15, and 6. So 20 kilometers is about here. Right about here. Look at that, guys. Wow. Right on. So this is my own scale that I use based on how the game tends to consistently operate. And as you can see, it's fairly accurate. So this is where he's at. I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to put a mark on that merchant, and I'm going to sit here and going to run my clock. And I'm going to see how he moves. Now, for this to work properly, you've got to be sitting still to get fairly accurate range and speed. And I'm going to let him go for about 5 minutes. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Coming up on 5 minutes. I'll listen to him again. A little louder. 022 is my estimate. 2, roughly about the similar distance. Maybe about a 3 now. He's at 2, 2. So here's 2, here's 3, here's the middle, and 2, 2. No, not right here. Ooh, look at that. So if I have to estimate a course at this point, I'm going to say that he's traveling about like that. Now that's, from this distance you can't really get an accurate course with just a couple measurements. But I think generally speaking, if I turn in this direction, I should be closer to him. I got to get there within an hour, so it's going to be 21.5 kilometers per hour, which is going to be roughly, I think roughly what, 10 knots? 9 knots? Let's see what 21.5 is. So 21.5, that's kilometers. This is an hour. So I'll give myself an hour. Divide by 1.852, and that gives me 11.6 knots. And that's a little bit less than what I can do on the surface. So I should be meeting right up with him if I'm accurate. So we're going to go ahead and surface.
Surface the boat.
Max
Extreme
speed.
speed ahead.
Let's see if this works.
Periscope depth. All stop.
Speed it up a little bit, then get down to depth a little quicker.
Current depth.
10 meters. Engage electric motors.
Man, that guy's loud. Alright, so he should be to my left, to my port. Sure is. Much closer. Yeah, he's pretty close. I'd say he's probably around. Oh, maybe if I can hear steam or so, he's usually at maybe an R squared of 2, which is roughly 12.5 kilometers away. Now that's a guess. At 317. Through here is 310, 117, 12. Is that what I said? Well, that's pretty accurate. I mean, that's about 10,000. Look at that. Alright, it's not too bad for I just came up with a scale yesterday. So he's here. He's right about here. And I think he's traveling faster than 11 knots. But anyway, so his course is kind of more like something like that. Ugh, alright, well, let's try to get there. It's motor.
Surface the boat. Extreme speed ahead.
7 kilometers away. Good. Sounds like that I have overtaken him. See that? Unless that's another merchant. Oh shit, it is. That's a second merchant. Alright. I'm just gonna go after this guy. So many contacts. Targets of opportunity. It's a target-rich environment. That's what we call that.